All right, now let's work on some more abstract sound design elements. And for that, we're going to be using kick 3 and Anna 2. So let's start with kick 3. Just going to drag that here. And let's add some impact right when this door opens, because this is where the action starts. And there's this really cool transition here, this zoom, bow, into that. So we're just going to add a MIDI clip in there. That's Control-Shift-M or Command-Shift-M on a Mac. And we're just going to make the note a C. All right, let's solo this. Okay, now let's bring up kick 3. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this click. And that should just leave us with this. Now, let's drag that out to 3 seconds. And you can make some really cool bass drops and impacts within kick. I use this all the time for this kind of stuff. So we're just going to play with these pitches a little bit. So that's good. Just going to add a little bit of that drive. And let's go over to the effects. Maybe add some wave. We don't want too much, but a little bit of distortion can help these big low sub impacts come through on smaller speakers. So let's try that. Let's listen back to everything with that new sound effect. Yeah, that's cool. That just adds some nice punch. We could maybe add another impact here at the end. Depending on how cinematic and trailery we want it to look. And you can see how much one sound effect changes how things feel, right? So if we play this back, it almost has a calming kind of ASMR feel to it. And then as soon as we add this low impact, even if we turn it way down, it just adds so much more punch and makes that feel much more intense. So we could scatter this around at different points if we wanted to punch anything up. And we can make several different bass drops. However, we are going to be using this music, which has some bass drops built in. And so in the next video, we're going to mix everything together and go through that. I'm going to group that, and I'm just going to call this sound design. And let's make another MIDI track. And for this one, let's grab Anna 2. So earlier we talked about this speed ramp shot. So I want to add something in that's really going to punch up that. So let's add in a new MIDI clip and just make sure that it's aligned up with the start of that frame and the end. All right, then let's go into Anna and initialize it. Now we can just add a note, and let's try and find a good starting point for our pitch. Something that sort of harmonically works with the rest of our sound effects. It doesn't necessarily need to be musically the same note, but we're looking for something that just fits well and it's not going to be super clashy with this. Okay, so that should work as a starting point. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our wave form here, and let's pick Saw Harmonics 2. And then for starters, we're just going to go over to our graphical envelopes here, and we're going to make sure this is set to retrigger. And we're going to change the destination to pitch course all. So if we drag this down, we get this cool power down sound effect. Right, and now it's just a matter of playing with that rate a little bit. And then we'll tweak the curve on that. Maybe start it a little bit lower. So now we've got this power down sound. Let's punch that up a little bit. I'm going to go over to the noise oscillator here, and one of them is called car, which is just a car driving by noise. And we're going to start that right here, and instead of loop, we're just going to select retrigger. We'll give it a little bit more of that noise. Great. Cool. So now let's play with it a little bit more. Let's send both of these signals to both of our filters, and then we'll go to filter 1 and just select low pass 12. And we'll grab our second graphic envelope, and we're going to do a similar thing with this, but the destination is going to be LFO1 rate. And then our LFO target is going to be our filter frequency. So if we turn up the resonance on this, and just for the sake of hearing what we're working on, let's send both of these all the way to filter 1. So we've got so let's start around there. We'll turn that resonance down. And then we'll start backing off on the depth. We're going to make sure that we set that to retrigger. And we just want to try and time the rate with our clip so that it lasts basically this entire duration. So that's pretty close. And if we play with the amount, we can get different effects. We'll send these both back to both filters. And now we have this really cool power down sound. Kind of augments what we've got going on with that plane. So even in sound design for videos, you can totally use synths to make all sorts of cool stuff. We could make wind, we could make all sorts of cool different effects using just Ana 2 and Kick 3. So now we've got a pretty good starting point for us to begin our mix. So in the next video, we're going to be going through mixing all of this.